Yeah, it's a lot more than a chatbot. Like generally, people think that just slapping a chatbot onto an existing product can solve their problems, but I don't think that's what we have done here. What we have done is we have fundamentally reinvented the product. The conversational interface that a chatbot really claims about, that interface is really good for doing certain things, and we have taken the best of that and we have kind of married that with the existing user interface of the app to create something which is truly magical. And that is the difference that we I think we see in our user interface compared to what generally just having a chat in your app means. Most of the time we have never looked at building something by starting from the lens of either to make money or to look at the competition to copy something. These are the two things that we have never done. And the reason is that it's not that people don't do that. It's just that we never had the time to do these things. Like most of the time we are so obsessed with customers and their problems is that is where we spend most of our time. And if you have your ears to the ground and if you're intently listening to what's happening to your customers and you understand their problems, I don't think you will have enough time to do anything else. You will just keep finding those problems, and your obsession will make you solve those problems. And if you keep doing that, I think that is what truly makes you innovative as a company. Because sometimes those roadmaps that cannot define the priority of these features, right? Because if you just weigh everything by monetization, revenue, etc., then some of the features that we build, they would have never made it to the list. So we've seen COVID when our revenue went to zero, bookings went to zero. So we don't really we just take it like one thing at a time. So this is a problem, we'll come through it. Like I think organizationally we are extremely resilient, culturally we are extremely resilient. So we've seen enough of these threats in the past, and even bigger threats. So I'm sure we will get through this just like everybody else will. Of course there will be impact, like oil prices are high, that's affecting the demand. Right now what is happening in the world, the geopolitical instability will create certain impacts, but I don't think these things are there to last forever. I think this is a good thing for domestic because we've seen that international was an extremely strong growth vector in the past few years, and we saw that growth. If right now the country needs us, some of that demand will come back to the domestic funnel. Domestic will definitely see a little bit of boost. Our business fortunately wasn't extremely reliant on international travel at this point of time. So we haven't really seen that big of a challenge, but I think the domestic growth should be able to compensate for that.
Any expectation of what kind of growth you see, and what is your share of domestic business?
Everybody is impacted. Like you can see, what happened in March, the war in the Middle East, etc. So obviously there will be some negative impact for everybody. To what extent that impact will be, you'll see when the numbers come out. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you genuinely solve a customer problem, if you genuinely create something that helps a customer in their day-to-day lives, solves their problems, solves their pain area, they would come and use your app. They would come and use your app, and which we have seen several times in the past. When we built our trains app, there was no booking inside the trains app. We only used to do PNR status. We only used to do running status. We still were able to scale that platform to millions of users without any monetization. The reason why people came to our app because we were genuinely solving their problems, and that's how we gained their trust. So the story doesn't change. Every time we build something innovative, that innovation is not just for the sake of innovation. It is actually to solve a genuine consumer problem.
Well, what an amazing, seriously amazing reinvention you people have did. Can we have resounding applause?